Hi, welcome back to the Reba Jam Art Channel. This is the fourth video of our Crochet 101 series. And in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a circle with your crochet work. And with this you can do any kind of stitch, any of the stitches that I taught you in the previous three videos for Crochet 101. Great. And with circles, there's a lot of ways to do it. Personally, I prefer the magic circle method. A lot of people act like it's really hard. I honestly do not understand that. But if you are one of those people who finds the magic circle to be demystifying, today hopefully I can shed some light on how it's done and allow you to use this wonderful method of making circles for your crochet. So, to start a magic circle, take your end of your yarn. You want to kind of hold it across your fingers like this. Wrap it around. Put it in between these two. Cross it. And then around. So you want it to be crossed on this side, parallel on this side, and what you'll do is you'll take your crochet hook and you'll put it underneath this first piece of yarn and grab this, so you'll have your yarn like this. And you're going to grab this yarn over here and pull it through. And you take your fingers out and you have this nice little circle. At this point you want to kind of hold on to it at this conjunction. And then from here you will just chain one. I'm going to chain two because in this video I'm going to be doing the half double crochets, so chain up two, and then you just start your stitch and you just go under the yarn of your circle just like you would if it were, a chain or oops. Sometimes getting your tension right can be a little tricky, but half double, beautiful. And then once you do a stitch, I like to just pull this string and that'll make your circle a little smaller. It's part of the reason why I really love the magic circle, because you can really pull this tight to make your circle as tight as you would like. And then you just want to keep going around with your stitches. Usually for a circle I will do about 8 to 12 stitches in this first round, just so we can get a good base going. 1, 2, 3, so we got 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Nice. We're just going to start with 8. And then once you kind of have that first round done, I like to just lay it down and just pull that as tight as possible. And that'll really close up that center circle there. And then, so the next thing you want to do is you want to find that first stitch Make sure you're not going into the chains, like your 2 chains up, going into the top of the first stitch. Pull your yarn through with the little slip stitch to connect. And then we are going to chain up 2. And that's your first round. So for the second round, chain up 2. And then do 1 more stitch right into this first stitch that you did your slip stitch into. And then you're going to do 2 stitches per stitch in this round. That makes sense. So it's what in crochet it's called increasing, where you do more than 1 stitch in the top of each stitch of your previous row. So we're just going to go around our circle doing 2 stitches in each spot. Here. So with the second round, you'll have 16 stitches total. So we did 8 in the first. It's good when you're starting this out to kind of keep track of your rounds, to make sure you know where you are, because each round is a little different in how many times you're increasing. But yes, the first round is always just however many stitches, and then the second round you're always going to double that by doing an increase in every stitch. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do our last 2 stitches right here. Beautiful. So that'll be your second round. And same thing, you want to go into the top of that first stitch here to connect with a slip stitch. And then chain up 2 to start round 3. Right, so in round 3, so you start every round the same way, chain up 2, and then a stitch right into that same stitch that you slip stitched into. And then we'll do 2, this first one. With round 3, you're going to increase in every other stitch. So we slip stitch, did a stitch into that, increase into that next one. This one we'll just do a normal 1 stitch, and then 2 into the next one. Normal. And then next one will be an increase. I really love the way this yarn looks with circles. This makes me so happy with the gradient. This is the Dishy yarn from Crochet.com. It's a great cotton yarn. It's nice and soft. And yeah, so you just go around this whole round for round 3, doing an increase in every other stitch. So we do a normal stitch, and then in this one we're going to do 2 stitches and 1. And normal stitch. And that's going to be the last one because that's our slip stitch right here, so you're not going to do any crochets into that. Make sure you don't crochet into the slip stitch because that can make your circles start to get a little wonky. So that's the slip stitch, chain 2. Going to do our connecting slip stitch right here, and that's the end of round 3. We're going to chain up 2, start round 4, same thing, do your crochet stitch into this first one that you slip stitched into. We're going to do our increase in the first one next. And then with round 4, you're going to do 2 normal stitches in between each of your increases. Do normal, normal. This next one you'll increase. Circles do require a little bit more paying attention to than if you're just going in, you know, like a rectangle, like in straight lines. Because you have to remember what round you're on and how many normal stitches are in between each of your increases. That's the big thing to pay attention to with circles, is just knowing what round you're on and how many normals in between our increases. It's our increase, and you'll do a normal, normal, and then the next one will be our increase. Normal, normal, and increase. And increase. We'll do normal, normal, and increase. And then normal, normal. A good way to keep track of if you're not skipping stitches and going in your right pattern is, so when you do the increase in the first one, after, the slip stitch spot, you'll end after you get just the right amount of normals, if that makes sense. Crochet language is very weird. I feel like I'm saying nonsense a lot of times when I'm talking about it, but so then there's our slip stitch. We did 2 normals, slip stitch, chain, chain, and this is where we will go in to do our next slip stitch. Finish up round 4. Beautiful, and then we're going to chain up 2 and stitch right into that same one. Do our increase. And can anyone guess how many spaces we're skipping in round 5 with the normals? That's right, it's going to be 3. So you do your increase there. There we go. Normal. 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 So we did our increase. 3 just regular stitches, and this one we will increase. Normal. 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 And increase. Normal. 2 and 3, and we increase. So yeah, that's the general pattern as you keep going around. Each round you'll have 1 more normal stitch in between your increases. And you can keep going for as big as you would like your circle to be. I have seen some really cool large circular crochet blankets that are really cool. Love that. When do you ever see a circular blanket? And this is a good way to start like bucket hats, like I start my market bags like this. Circles are great. There's a lot you can do with your circle. And 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to do our increase here. Sometimes with my slightly ADHD brain, you have to just really pay attention to where you're at in your circle and how many normal stitches you've done. I find myself going back and counting often, and that's okay. We're all a little ADHD these days, I feel like, so I'm sure you understand, and you're just gonna have to, you'll be able to see like this stitch. We have 2. 1, 1, 1. So that means we increase here. And as we're approaching the end, we can see that worked out nicely as we have 3 stitches left. And that's how many normal stitches we're doing in this round. Beautiful. So yeah, that's our slip stitch, chain, chain, top of the first stitch, and connect. is really nice. I love the way the Sharon looks in a circle. And then, yes, so I'm sure you know, we're going to chain up 2, do a stitch right into that same stitch. And then we'll do an increase here. And you guessed it, we're going to do 4 normal stitches in this round in between each of our increases. There's our increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase in this next one. And yeah, so each round, just 1 more normal stitch in between each of the increases, so your increases get a little more spread out as you go. I'm sure there's a math person out there who knows exactly why we do this way when we're crocheting stitches, and I'm sure there's a wonderful mathematical thing that happens. But, you know, I don't know. I just know the pattern. I don't know why. So yeah, there's our increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase. Increase. One, 2, 3, and 4. Then we increase. Increase. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase. Full, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And beautiful. Now we're at the end of round 5. So this is our slip stitch, chain, chain, and top of the first stitch. Do slip stitch in, and that is round 5. So yeah, with the circle that's your pattern. You'll keep the next round, you'll have 5 stitches in between each of your increases, and 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, there is no limits. You can crochet your circles with 20 stitches in between each increase, 30, 40, however big you would like your circle to be. So yeah, that's it for this lesson in the Crochet 101 series. I am Reba of Reba Jam Art. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time in our next video. Have a lovely day.